Hello, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining us once again for the latest updates that matter to ordinary South Africans. Please stay with us right until the end so you can hear the sources of this news and decide for yourself what's really going on. Today, we are talking about a major concern that's been making headlines. A bus carrying 53 illegal foreigners was only stopped in Hammanskraal, well past multiple checkpoints and border controls. This is one of those incidents that raises serious questions about the state of our border security, the level of coordination between authorities, and ultimately, the safety and rights of South Africans. The incident unfolded just north of Pretoria in Hammanskraal, where a bus coming from Zimbabwe was finally intercepted by law enforcement authorities. Inside were 53 undocumented individuals, men, women, and some minors, who had reportedly crossed into South Africa without proper documentation. According to sources within the Department of Home Affairs, the passengers did not have valid visas, passports, or asylum papers. Now here's the question that's been on everyone's lips: how did this bus travel all the way from the border and go unnoticed until it reached Hammanskraal? That's roughly 500 kilometers through South Africa, through several towns and multiple police roadblocks, yet not a single checkpoint picked up on the issue until then. It's deeply concerning and highlights glaring cracks in our immigration control systems. For many locals in Hammanskraal, this incident is not just about paperwork, it speaks to a growing fear that South Africa's borders are simply not secure. And when that happens, communities feel vulnerable. Residents who spoke to the media expressed a mix of anger and exhaustion. One local woman said, "We don't hate anyone, but how are so many people crossing into our country without being checked? Then they come here and take up services that are meant for citizens." Another man, a taxi driver, added, "If a local tries to run a business without papers or licenses, the police shut it down the next day. But foreigners can travel hundreds of kilometers undocumented and no one notices. It's not fair." Authorities confirmed that the driver of the bus was a South African citizen and is now facing charges related to human smuggling. According to SAPS, the driver admitted under questioning that this was not the first time such a trip had been done. It is believed this may be part of a much larger operation, possibly a syndicate, that facilitates illegal entries for a fee. Meanwhile, the undocumented passengers were taken in by immigration officials. Some claimed they were coming into South Africa to seek asylum, while others said they were hoping to find work or reunite with family already living in the country. Home Affairs has said that each individual will be processed according to immigration laws, and many could face deportation. But it's not just about those 53 passengers, it's about the entire system. If one bus can go this far undetected, how many more are out there right now, passing through quietly? In a statement, the Department of Home Affairs admitted that they are overwhelmed by the volume of undocumented migration. They've called for better coordination between provincial police departments, border agencies, and even community leaders to help report and manage these incidents more effectively. This isn't the first time something like this has happened. In the past year alone, multiple similar cases have emerged involving undocumented foreigners being transported in large groups, whether in trucks, minibuses, or buses. And every time, we hear about it after the fact, after they've already moved deep into the country. Critics say the government is not doing enough. The Border Management Authority, which was recently launched with the hope of improving border security, is still understaffed and under-resourced. Even with its presence, South Africa's borders remain porous, especially with neighboring countries like Zimbabwe and Mozambique. Some experts argue that while border enforcement is important, the country also needs a more efficient and fair immigration system. They say many foreigners entering the country are fleeing poverty or political instability and see South Africa as a land of opportunity. But without a strong and clear immigration process, these same people often fall into exploitation and become part of underground economies, which further destabilize communities. Back in Hammanskraal, the mood is tense. Many locals say they're not against foreigners, they just want law and order to be respected. They want to know that everyone plays by the same rules. And they want assurance that public services, healthcare, education, and jobs aren't being drained by uncontrolled migration. For now, the 53 people found on that bus remain in government custody. Investigations are continuing, and there are rumors that more arrests could follow, especially if a smuggling syndicate is uncovered. To be fair, not all undocumented foreigners come with bad intentions. Many are simply desperate, seeking a better life. But at the same time, South Africans are feeling the pressure in their own country. And if government doesn't act fast to balance compassion with control, frustrations will keep rising. This situation shows us once again why it's so important to have secure borders, functional systems, and leadership that listens to its people. Source names: SAPS, Department of Home Affairs, Border Management Authority, Gauteng Provincial Government. What do you think about this? Are the authorities doing enough, or are we slowly losing control of our borders? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments.